As night falls over the remote northern lands, silence settles like snow. A small Viking village lies tucked between icy fjords and towering pine-covered mountains. Longhouses, built from timber and sod, glow softly from within, their small windows flickering with the light of hearth fires. Outside, a gentle snowfall drapes the rooftops, muffling every sound. The only movement is the slow spiral of smoke rising into the stillness of the starlit sky, and far above, the northern lights shimmer, a curtain of pale green and violet dancing across the heavens. The Vikings called it the Bifrost, the bridge between Midgard and Asgard, between Earth and the realm of gods. You hear no words, only the sound of wind weaving through the trees, the creak of old wood, the occasional crack of frost splitting in the ground beneath the snow. Inside, families have gathered close to the fire. Children rest on straw bedding, wrapped in furs. The warmth of the hearth pulses like a heartbeat at the center of the room. Someone hums a slow lullaby, maybe an old saga being whispered, barely audible, like it's meant only for the flames and the night. Now imagine, you are there, sitting quietly by the hearth, the smell of wood smoke and pine in the air, your body slowly sinking into calm. You're safe, sheltered from the cold, surrounded by the deep, ancient quiet of the Viking world. This is where our journey begins, in the frozen north, where sleep comes with the snow. Dawn does not arrive quickly in the north. It comes like a breath held too long, cold, quiet, reluctant. A soft blue begins to bleed into the sky, just enough to turn the snow from black to grey. The village still sleeps, wrapped in frost. The longhouses seem to hold their breath, the fire inside them now little more than a glow. No rooster crows, no children stir, only the trees creak faintly in the wind, their branches heavy with ice. But down by the water something is waking. A longship rests in the shallows, still, powerful, waiting. Its curved prow, carved like a serpent, glistens with frost. The sail is tightly bound. The oars, long and polished, are lashed to its sides. The hull is dark and wet from the melting snow, as if it too has been dreaming all night. One by one the crew begins to arrive. They appear through the mist like shadows with breath. Fur-lined cloaks pulled tight, boots muffled in snow. No one speaks. Each man carries something, a bundle of dried meat, a coil of rope, a wrapped axe. Some carry nothing at all but silence. They move with the careful rhythm of repetition. This is not their first journey. At the water's edge, a man stops. He places a hand on the ship's side. A pause. A gesture. Maybe a prayer. The frost bites his fingers, but he does not pull away. Then, without a word, they begin to load. Shields are strapped along the hull. Barrels are lifted onto the deck with slow care. A small leather pouch tied with twine is passed from hand to hand like something sacred. Still, the village behind them remains asleep, unaware, or pretending not to watch. There is no farewell, no horns, only the hush of frost, the echo of boots on frozen sand, and the sea, vast, black, waiting. And then, together, they press their hands to the hull. One push, then another. The ship groans softly, like an old bear rising from sleep. And slowly it slides forward into the water, first with resistance, then with grace. Now imagine, your hands cold against ancient wood, your breath clouding in the morning air, your heart strangely quiet. This is how it begins, not with glory, but with silence, with snow, and with a ship that remembers the way. The fjord opens slowly, like a path hidden beneath the mist. Water laps gently against the sides of the longship, as if testing its weight, its purpose. Beyond the narrow inlet, the sea stretches wide and still, an endless sheet of grey beneath a sky not yet finished waking. The first oars dip into the water, not all at once, not in unison, just one then another. The sound is soft, almost hesitant, wood meeting water, followed by the low creak of wet rope. No voices, no shouting, only the rhythm of movement. The ship glides forward like something alive, slow, steady, ancient. Each rower watches the man in front of him, learning the rhythm by feel more than sight. Left, pull, right, pull. The breath between strokes grows deeper, more even. Boots press against the deck, shoulders lean into the work. The cold stings the cheeks, then fades, replaced by warmth drawn up from inside. The mist curls along the sides of the ship, wrapping around the hull like a veil. Somewhere, gulls cry overhead, their wings silent against the wind. The sea is still, and so is time. A man in the center of the ship begins to hum, not a tune of joy, more like a memory, low and slow like the ship itself. Others join in, not with harmony, but with weight, a drone of voices, a heartbeat for the voyage. Now imagine, you are among them, hands on the oar, arms already aching, the air sharp in your nose, the world behind you fading into mist, the world ahead still unknown. And in this moment, nothing exists but the stroke and the silence between. This is how the sea accepts you, not with waves, but with rhythm. The mist has lifted, but the world remains colourless. Sky and sea blur together in soft shades of grey-blue. There is no land in sight now, only the distant curve of the horizon, and the long, steady breathing of the waves. The ship presses forward, oars dipping and pulling. Again and again, like the ticking of a great wooden clock. The rhythm is now muscle memory, shoulders rolling, backs leaning, hands tightening around worn shafts of ashwood. The sun, pale and slow, climbs higher, but it brings little warmth. Cloaks hang damp and heavy. The wind has picked up, not wild but constant. It whispers through the rigging, tugs gently at the sail still tied to the mast. The ship rocks just enough to remind everyone, this is not the land anymore. Someone stifles a cough. Another man shifts on his bench, trying to ease a sore muscle. A young rower grimaces as a blister on his palm splits open. There's no time to tend it, only forward. A soft grunt signals a pause. The oars are lifted, and silence falls like a blanket. They pass around a small skin of water, a pouch of dried meat, a heel of hard bread. The food is simple, dry, familiar. No one complains. One man chews slowly with his eyes closed, as if remembering something else. A meal beside a hearth, the voice of a child, the scent of stew in a clay pot. But here, there is only salt and wind. The ship groans as it cuts across the water. A gull shrieks overhead. A wave slaps the side, and someone mutters under his breath. A prayer perhaps, or a quiet curse. Now imagine you are here, your body tired but not broken, your mind half awake, half adrift, your world reduced to wood, rope, breath and sea. This is not the battle, this is not the storm, this is the long stretch in between, the middle of the voyage, when time moves like water, and everything you know is behind you. It begins with a shift in the wind, a colder breath sliding in from the west. The sky darkens not all at once, but in quiet layers, as though a great grey cloth is being slowly pulled over the sun. Then, the first drop, soft, almost imagined, then another, and another. The rain comes down like mist at first, fine and steady, soaking through wool, slipping into seams, trailing down spines and into boots. No thunder, no storm, just water, endless water from above and below. No one speaks. There is no shelter, only the ship, open, exposed. The sail remains tied, the deck slicks beneath their feet. Cloaks grow heavy, hoods pulled low, hands raw from wet rope and rain-soaked oars. Some close their eyes, letting it wash over them. Others stare out into the nothingness, jaws clenched, minds wandering to dry places they may never see again. The sea stays calm, unnervingly so. Waves lap softly against the hull. The longship moves forward like a ghost, gliding through grey upon grey. Water pools between floorboards. A pouch of dried meat falls, and no one bothers to retrieve it. They keep rowing, because what else is there? One man whispers a line from an old tale, not for comfort, but for rhythm. Another joins, barely audible. It fades as quickly as it came. Now imagine the cold has found your bones, your fingers feel stiff, your legs numb, but you are quiet, strangely calm. The rain touches everything, and for a while the world is only this. No sound but the sea, no colour but grey, no thought but movement. This is not suffering, this is surrender, to the water, to the sky, to the voyage. The rain fades before the light. By the time the last of the grey slips below the horizon, the sky has cleared, not fully, but just enough for the stars to return. One by one they blink into view, no grand arrival, just quiet presence. The sea has grown still again. The longship rocks gently, barely moving, a cradle carved of oak and iron and human will. A small fire is lit in a shielded basin at the centre of the deck, not for warmth but for light. Its glow flickers against damp faces, reflects in tired eyes. The crew settles into the hush. Some lie back on bundles of rope and fur, arms folded, eyes closed. Others lean against the mast, staring upward, counting stars they cannot name. No one talks about home, no one counts the days. A few bites of cold bread are passed around, a sip of mead, a cracked voice offers a slow, wordless tune, nothing more than breath and memory. It drifts away before it reaches the sail. Two men stand watch at either end of the ship, eyes sweeping the sea for what they do not expect to find. They shift their weight, adjust their cloaks and wait, always wait. Somewhere above, the northern lights begin to stir again, pale green rivers flowing silently across the black. The others do not notice. They are already dreaming. Now imagine you are wrapped in fur, your head resting against a coiled rope. The air is cold but no longer biting. The sea rocks you gently. The fire crackles low. You are far from shore, and yet you feel no fear. Only distance, only quiet, only the deep, ancient rhythm of the water beneath. This is what sleep feels like on the sea, slow, shifting, sacred. The longship is quiet. The sea breathes beneath it, slow, steady, unchanging. Above, the sky unfolds like a scroll of stars, each one a mark of something forgotten. And in the spaces between sleep, the dreaming begins. It comes not in colour but in feeling. A soft hand brushing your shoulder, the scent of smoke and herbs in your mother's cloak, a distant laugh echoing from a feast long gone. You dream of shore, not the one you left, not the one you sail toward, but something else, a place that might have existed only in story. grassy cliffs above a still bay, the sound of goats on stone, a sun low and warm, casting long shadows behind a row of spears stuck in the earth. You see yourself as a child, or maybe your son, barefoot, running through heather laughing. No war, no wind, just breath, and the quiet certainty that the world is whole. Then a whisper, a name you haven't heard in years, not shouted, not spoken, just there. You stir, but do not wake. The oars creak faintly in the cold. The ship drifts on. Another man mumbles in his sleep. Someone sighs. The fire sputters, then catches again. And still you dream, not of treasure, nor conquest, but of stillness. Of land beneath your feet. Of a hand in yours. Of something not lost, but waiting. Now imagine, your eyes flutter behind closed lids. Your body rests in the sway of the ship. Your breath is calm. You are far from land. But in this dream, you are home. This is not escape. This is memory, drifting like fog through the long dark sea. The hours before dawn are the loneliest. Time moves differently here, not forward, not back, but outward, like ripples on black water. Most of the crew sleeps. Some twitch in restless dreams. Others lie still, arms crossed, faces turned skyward, eyes open but unfocused. And then, the sounds begin. Not voices, not waves, but something in between. It starts with a low moan, carried on the wind, soft, stretched, almost human. The ship creaks in reply. Then, faint splashing far off in the darkness. Too rhythmic to be waves, too slow to be fish. A gull cries, and then another, though none are seen. One of the watchmen stands upright, peering into the dark, hand resting on his axe. Not in fear, just instinct. The sea is alive tonight. The water laps at the hull with wet, deliberate fingers. A rope sways against the mast. A shield shifts, tapping gently against another, like a heartbeat out of sync. Somewhere beneath the surface, a deep sound pulses, as if the ocean itself is breathing. In, out, slow, ancient. Someone stirs, whispering a name in his sleep. Another mumbles a prayer, half forgotten, half formed, meant more for himself than for the gods. You open your eyes. The stars are fading. The wind has stopped. Everything holds still, listening. Now imagine, you are there, awake in the hour before the world returns. The cold against your cheeks. The sound of the ship talking to the sea. And the sense that something is near, not danger, not safety, just presence. This is what the sea offers when no one else is watching. Not answers, only echoes. Before the sun rises, the sky begins to breathe again. Not with colour, but with light. The faintest blush of silver seeping into the black. The stars, one by one, retreat behind the veil. The sea, once invisible, begins to reveal itself, a vast rippling mirror touched by pale mist. The crew stirs slowly. Blankets shift. Cloaks are pulled tighter. A groan here. A cough there, but still no speech, only breath, and the sound of wood settling beneath them. The fire has burned low, only embers now, glowing like small patient eyes at the center of the deck. One man stretches, joints popping softly in the cold air. Another rubs his face, traces of sleep still caught in his beard. The silence of the morning is not empty, it is sacred, earned. A gull appears in the sky, circling once before disappearing beyond a veil of low clouds. The water gleams faintly now, touched by light, but there is still no sun, just the suggestion of it, a promise on the edge of the world. The oars are not yet lifted, the sail remains tied. For now there is only stillness, a pause between night and day, between what has been and what comes next. Now imagine, your body stiff but steady, your fingers curled around a worn oar, your eyes watching the sky unfold, slow and wide. There is no destination in sight, but something has changed. This is how morning finds a ship at sea, not all at once, but gently, with silence, with breath, with light that does not ask permission. As the light strengthens, so does the gaze of those aboard. Eyes narrow, hands rise to foreheads, shielding against the morning haze. Some lean forward, as though distance might shorten if they simply reach. Then, someone sees it, a dark line, faint, uneven, where sea meets sky. No sound marks the moment, just the stillness that follows realization. Is it land, or cloud, or the cruel trick of tired minds and restless water? No one says the word. To speak it would be to hope. And hope here is fragile. The ship keeps moving, its pace slow, even, the result of bodies that have not yet recovered but have not given up. The oars resume their rhythm, not faster, just steady. The shape on the horizon does not grow quickly. It hovers, wavers, then darkens. A bird appears, then another, and someone finally murmurs, "Land." Still, no cheer, no raised fists, only a breath released, long held, now gone. For they know, land seen is not land reached. Between them lies water, wind, and time. Now imagine, your heart doesn't race. It slows, your shoulders remain heavy, but they shift, just slightly, as if the weight has changed. The sea around you no longer feels endless. The air smells faintly of soil, or maybe it's just your memory playing tricks again. This is what the horizon offers, not salvation but suggestion, a glimpse, a direction, not yet arrival, but the promise of it. The shape on the horizon no longer flickers. It is solid now, uneven, forested, jagged, not a dream, not a cloud, but land. The longship draws closer, the sea grows shallower, though its voice grows no louder, just the low hush of water brushing against wood like a whisper of welcome or warning. The men begin to stir in new ways, shoulders roll, hands check belts and bindings, eyes scan the tree line ahead, the oars keep moving, slower now, controlled. The wind carries a different scent, not salt, but soil, the sharp bite of pine, the sweetness of moss, the earthy tang of something alive. One man reaches into his pack, fingers wrapping around a bundle, a small hammer amulet, worn smooth from years of handling. He closes his eyes, presses it to his lips, says nothing. A quiet order passes along the deck, low, firm. Shields are lifted, axe blades are uncovered, though not yet raised. The crew is not tense, just aware. Land offers food, water, shelter, but also danger. The unknown always waits behind the trees. Still, they row. Still, they press forward. Now imagine you are standing once more, knees stiff, balance shifting beneath you. Your hand rests on the edge of the hull, your eyes fixed on the dark line of trees ahead. You do not know what you will find, but the sea has let you go. This is the approach, not with fanfare, but with quiet readiness, with breath held between past and present, with a longship gliding slowly toward whatever waits beyond the shore. The keel grinds softly against the sand. Not with violence, not with triumph. Just a long, low sigh, wood meeting land after too many nights afloat. The oars are lifted, the ship slows, and then stillness. No one moves at first. They listen, to the wind in the trees, to the call of unseen birds, to the absence of waves beneath their feet. Then boots thud onto wet sand, one by one, measured, grounded, a step, then another, not like warriors storming a coast, like men remembering what it means to stand still. The air is thick with earth, moss, bark, stone warmed by morning light. Not a scent of fire, no smoke, no sign of life, yet everything feels alive. They fan out slowly, hands still near weapons, eyes flicking toward movement that isn't there, but mostly, they breathe. Some kneel to touch the ground, some run fingers through the grass. One man picks up a stone, examines it, places it in his pouch, for luck, or memory, or nothing at all. The longship sits quiet behind them, gently rocking in the shallows, its journey for now complete. Now imagine, your feet in soft sand, your eyes adjusting to the shade beneath strange trees, your lungs pulling in air that doesn't taste of salt. You are not home, but you are no longer drifting. This is landfall, not the end, not the goal, but a pause, a beginning wrapped inside an ending, and the sound of silence, finally broken by birdsong. They do not go far, just beyond the tree line. Far enough to hide the ship, close enough to run if the forest turns unfriendly. The ground is soft beneath pine needles. The trees are tall, close together, their tops lost in early mist. Birds flit between branches. Insects hum in the brush. The land breathes, not in welcome but in rhythm. A space is cleared, not wide, just enough for a circle of men and a small fire. No tents, no walls. Only the forest around them, like a great cathedral of bark and shadow. Wood is gathered in silence. The first sparks are struck. Smoke curls upward, cautious and thin, then thickens as flames take hold. Orange light flickers on faces still damp from sea air. They sit slowly. Some remove boots to rub aching feet. Others check the edge of a blade, not for war but out of habit. One man eats without looking up. Another leans back against a tree and closes his eyes, not quite asleep. No stories are told, no songs are sung, just the crackle of fire, the rustle of wind, and the distant call of something unseen. The food is simple, dried fish, stale bread, water poured from a skin. Still it tastes of earth instead of salt, and that is enough. Now imagine, you are there by the fire, your cloak wrapped tight, your back against a tree, the warmth reaching your hands, your knees, your face. The sky above darkens slowly, branches etching patterns over starlight. This is not home, but for tonight, it is shelter, a place to sleep where the ground doesn't move. This is the camp, the pause between sea and land, between danger and what comes next. A quiet flame, a borrowed peace. The fire burns lower now, just embers, pulsing in the dark. The last scraps of wood crackle and fall, their smoke winding into the trees above. The forest has changed. What was shadow before is now movement. What was quiet now, hums, crickets, branches shifting, something distant, something small. The longship cannot be seen from here, but they feel it, anchored in the back of the mind, the familiar in a land that has none. Blankets are drawn tight, cloaks pulled over heads, bodies curl beside tree roots. Some lie with their axes within reach. Not from fear, from instinct. One man keeps watch. He walks slowly, his boots pressing into moss and leaf. He doesn't look for danger, just listens, for the crack of a twig, the echo of breath, the whisper of a language only trees might know. Above, the stars appear once more, not like at sea, vast and cold, but closer, as if resting just above the branches, watching through needles and mist. Someone mutters in their sleep, a name, a place, a word lost to time, and the forest holds it all. Now imagine you lie on unfamiliar ground, your body aching but still. The air smells of pine and damp earth. The fire's last warmth touches your feet. The sky stretches endless above. You are not lost, but you are very far away. This is night in a new world, quiet, wild, and waiting. The pines stand like giants around you, and somewhere deep inside them, the land dreams too. Morning arrives without sound. No horns, no birdsong at first. Just a faint shift in the wind, and light, spilling like smoke between the trees. The fire is cold now, only white ash and scattered charcoal, soft as snow beneath the fingers. One by one the men begin to wake, eyes half closed, limbs stiff from sleeping on root and stone. Their breath rises in clouds as they sit up, blinking into the pale green light of the forest. No words are spoken. They stretch slowly, quietly. Someone rolls his shoulders, another brushes pine needles from his cloak. A third pours water over his face, shivering as the cold bites into waking skin. The forest is watching, or perhaps it's just alive in its own way, every leaf whispering, every trunk breathing deep. Boots are laced, straps tightened, bundles checked. No one hurries, but no one lingers either. A small piece of dried bread is chewed, not out of hunger but out of habit. The taste is dull, the silence complete. A distant bird calls, another answers. The forest has woken too. Now imagine, you rise from where you slept, your back sore but steady. The scent of damp moss still clings to your cloak. You look ahead, not at a road, but at space between trees. There is no path, only direction. This is how the next march begins, not with orders but with motion, not with banners but with breath. You are no longer at sea, but the journey has not ended. The wild is ahead, and it does not care who you are. The first step into the forest is like entering another world. Not darker, just deeper. The light filters through the canopy above, soft and dappled, painting the ground in shifting shades of green and gold. Every sound feels closer here. The snap of a twig, the hush of boots over leaves, the slow creak of leather as someone adjusts their pack. They walk in a loose line, not in formation but in rhythm, each man watching the space ahead, each breath measured, each step placed with care. The trees are tall, old, covered in moss like beards on giants. Some lean into each other, as if whispering about the strangers passing below. Birds dart above, insects hum unseen. Somewhere far off a stream murmurs over stone. No words are spoken. To speak here would feel like interruption. The forest is not hostile, but it is listening. They move slowly, past fallen trunks, around shallow dips in the earth, through patches of fern that brush their knees with dew. One man pauses, puts his hand against a tree, not for support but connection. He closes his eyes for just a breath, then moves on. Now imagine, your boots damp with earth, your shoulders brushing branches, your heartbeat sinking with the silence around you. This is not a road, it is not even a trail, but it is a direction. Forward, the sea is far behind, the shore is forgotten. This is the deep green world, where time moves like sap, and you are small but moving. At first it feels like nothing. Just another bend between trees. Another patch of moss, soft beneath the boots, but something shifts. A stillness that isn't natural, a silence that has shape. Then, a print, faint but clear, pressed into wet soil beside a fallen branch, not made by an animal, not weathered by rain, fresh. The line halts, one man kneels, traces the shape with a fingertip. He says nothing, but his eyes say enough. They wait. The forest does not change. The wind does not rise, but the quiet is no longer empty. Farther ahead, a branch, broken too cleanly. A bird's call, suddenly cut short. The smell of old smoke, too faint for certainty, but real. They move again, slower now. Blades not drawn, but fingers rest on hilts. Every creak of leather, every footfall feels louder. Still, no one appears. No voices call out, only the steady breath of the trees, and the men who do not trust them. A scrap of cloth caught on a thorn. A boot mark in the mud beside a stream, a tree carved with a single deep slash. All small things, all loud in their own way. Now imagine, you are among them. Your heart beat heavier than before, not out of fear, but alertness. You are no longer alone in the forest. This is no longer just travel. This is a crossing, through a place where others walk to, or have walked recently. And the forest, it remembers. The forest breaks suddenly. No slow thinning, no warning. Just a sharp step forward into open space. The clearing is wide, carpeted with grass and stone, ringed by trees standing like silent watchers. Sunlight pours in from above, not warm but strong. It touches every inch of the ground, and that's what makes it strange. Too open, too still, too quiet. The men halt at the edge, boots pressed into roots, eyes scanning the space. No one speaks. Even the birds have gone silent. In the center of the clearing, something stands. A stone, tall, weathered, streaked with lichen, not placed by nature, set there, long ago. There are marks on its face, not runes they recognize, but symbols that twist in unfamiliar patterns. One man approaches, slowly, hand outstretched. He does not touch it. The others remain at the edge. The wind passes once, steady, thin, and the grass leans eastward, as if bowing to something unseen. There are no footprints here, no bones, no ash, but the air holds a weight, like the pause before a word not spoken. Now imagine, you are there, on the edge of sunlight, half in shadow. You feel the openness like a pressure on your chest. Your breath feels louder, your heartbeat slower. This place does not welcome, it allows, and that feels different. This is the clearing, not a destination, but a test, of presence, of silence, of what you carry with you that cannot be seen. The tall stone is not alone. As they move slowly into the clearing, more shapes come into view, half hidden by grass, tilted with age, veiled in moss. A circle, not perfect, not fresh, but deliberate. 9 stones, spaced like points on a forgotten compass. Some stand tall, others lean. One has fallen, split in 2. Each is carved, not with letters but with marks older than writing, curves, claws, spirals. The men fan out, quietly, eyes wide, not with fear, but with reverence. This place was built, not for shelter, not for burial, for something else. One man kneels near a stone half buried in soil. He brushes it gently. A spiral pattern stares back, deep, clean, still sharp after time's long erosion. Another places his hand flat against a stone's face. He closes his eyes. There is no sound, but there is something. A pulse, a pressure, a memory too old to name. No one speaks. They walk the circle slowly, each feeling their own version of the same question. Why is this here? And more quietly, why does it feel like it's waiting? Now imagine, you stand in the center of that ancient ring, your shadow touching more than one stone, the air cool on your skin, the earth beneath you neither welcoming nor warning, simply aware. You are a visitor here, but not the first, and perhaps not the last. This is the circle of stone, where the past sleeps lightly, and the silence is never truly empty. The stillness breaks not with sound, but with scent. At first it's almost imagined a trace of something sharp in the air. Then it deepens, wood smoke. Faint, dry, drifting from the east. The men stop walking. They turn their heads, noses lifted slightly like animals listening with more than ears. There's no wind now, but the smoke moves anyway, a thin ribbon between branches, not from wildfire, from a hearth. A fire means people. They exchange glances, no words needed. Tension does not rise, it settles into backs, into hands resting on hilts, into footsteps that grow quieter. The forest thickens again, but now, every shape has meaning, every branch is a curtain, every shadow a possibility. The smoke grows stronger, not choking, not new, a fire that's been burning for hours, maybe longer. Then in a gap between the trees, the faintest glow, orange, low, flickering, no buildings yet, no movement, just light and smoke and the knowing that someone is near. Now imagine, you stand just beyond a ridge, knees slightly bent, your weight shifted forward, your breath held. You do not draw your weapon, not yet, but your fingers know where it is. This is no longer exploration, this is encounter, this is the edge of story, where your path crosses another's, and neither of you is sure who arrived first. The forest thins, steps slow, breath holds, and then the clearing opens. Small, worn, used. A low fire burns at its center, not large, not bright, just enough to keep warmth in the cold air. Its smoke curls upward through the trees, grey against green, and there, beside it, a figure, seated, still, watching. A man, or something close to one, wrapped in layered cloth and fur, face shadowed by hood and firelight, hands calm, posture easy, as if he knew someone would come. He does not rise, he does not run, he simply looks, and now, they stand. Your crew, your brothers, weapons within reach, but untouched. Each waiting for something, a sign, a move, a sound, but the forest is quiet. The fire crackles, the stranger says nothing. He lifts one hand, not to greet, not to threaten, just open, palm shown, fingers spread as if saying, I see you, I am not afraid. No one moves, one heartbeat, then another. The two worlds look at each other, across flame, across silence, across something older than language. Now imagine, you are at the edge of the light, eyes locked with a stranger's. You do not know his name, he does not know yours, but the forest holds both of you in the same breath. This is not battle, not yet. This is the beginning of something else. Contact, question, caution. This is the first stranger, not enemy, not friend, just presence. And the fire between you, it belongs to neither, and to both. No one moves first. But something passes between them. Not threat, not invitation, something in between. The fire pops. A log shifts. Sparks rise into the branches above, dancing for a moment before fading into night. The stranger lowers his hand slowly, deliberately, then gestures beside him, not toward a weapon, not toward the trees, but toward the ground, a place to sit. It is not command, not submission, just space, offered, not given. The men glance at each other. One steps forward, cautious, careful. He does not sit, but he does not draw steel either. The stranger watches, unblinking, then reaches into a pouch. Not fast, not hidden. He pulls out a piece of bread, dense, dark, wrapped in cloth, breaks it, lays one half on a flat stone between them, leaves it there. That is the language, not spoken, not signed, but made of gesture, offering, and trust, too fragile for words. Now imagine, you are watching this unfold, a fire between two men, no words, just actions, heavy with meaning, but light with movement. The forest does not stir, the shadows lean in closer, the air thickens, not with danger, but with possibility. No questions are asked, but all of them hang there, in the smoke, in the glances, in the quiet that grows deeper by the minute. This is shared silence, not absence of sound, but presence of understanding, the first form of peace, or the last calm before a storm. The bread remains untouched. But it says more than any greeting ever could. No challenge, no demand, just presence, shared. A sign that says, I am here, you are here. Let us see what happens next. One of your men kneels, slow, deliberate. He does not take the bread, but he acknowledges it. A glance, a nod. The stranger watches. No smile, no frown. Just eyes that have seen too much, and still look for more. He taps 2 fingers on the ground beside him. Then, with the same fingers, points east, toward the deeper woods, toward something unseen. A warning, a path, an invitation. No one is certain, but all of them feel it. The forest seems to lean in. The flames crackle lower, as if trying not to interrupt. Someone shifts beside you. Just a small movement, cloak rustling. Another adjusts his grip on an axe, not from threat, but instinct. The stranger does not flinch. He has lived with the wild longer than with people, perhaps. His calm is not gentleness, it is rootedness. A crow calls far off. Then silence returns, heavier than before, and in that silence, meaning forms, like mist, like memory. You do not speak his language, he does not know your name, but for a moment, both of you understand. There is more beyond the trees, there is risk, there is reason, and there is no turning back. Now imagine, your breath steady, your gaze locked with his, the bread between you growing cold, the fire still warm but low. Nothing said, everything heard. This is the echo of meaning, felt, not told, a message built from silence, and believed because of it. The stranger stands. Not quickly, not suddenly, but as if the earth itself released him gently. His cloak shifts, edges dusted with ash and pine needles. He steps back from the fire, then turns, just slightly. He raises his hand again, points, not toward the flames, not toward your ship, but deeper, into the forest's heart. A narrow line between the trees, not a trail exactly, but a direction. His fingers stay raised for only a moment, then lower, then rest at his side. No words, no explanation, just a gift. Here is the way, if you choose it. He steps away from the fire, into the shadows at the edge of the clearing. Does not wait to see if you follow, does not look back. He disappears with the quiet of a deer moving through undergrowth. One breath, and he is gone. The fire remains. Still flickering, still warm, but now it feels different. Like the end of a chapter, like the pause before something changes. Your men watch the spot where he vanished. No one questions the gesture, no one doubts the meaning. That path is yours now. Whatever lies at the end of it is no longer his burden. Now imagine, your eyes fixed on that dark corridor of trees, your boots pressed into soft earth, the taste of smoke still in your throat, the sense that something is waiting, not far, not hostile, but old. This is the gesture, not an order, not a promise, just a choice, and all that follows begins here. The fire dies without drama. No sudden burst, no swirl of ash. Just a long, soft breath, then nothing. The clearing grows dim. The smoke thins and vanishes between the trunks of the watching trees. One by one, the men begin to move. Cloaks are lifted, straps tightened, blades checked not from fear but from memory. A boot tapped against a stone, knocking off last night's ash. No one speaks of the stranger. There is nothing to say. His presence lingers like scent, ungraspable, undeniable. They do not extinguish the fire. It has done its work. It will fade on its own, like stories left behind. The direction he gave is not marked. There are no signs, but they saw it. They all saw it. One man steps forward, then another. The group falls into motion, not like a march, not like a retreat, like something between. The trees close around them again, pines and birch and silence. A forest that now feels less like wilderness and more like a gate. The ground rises slightly, the light shifts as clouds thicken above, and somewhere in the distance, faint and strange, the sound of running water. Now imagine your feet heavy but willing, your hand brushing bark as you pass, your thoughts not ahead, not behind, just in step. You are moving forward, not because you must, but because the way was shown, and sometimes that is enough. This is how the journey continues, not with certainty, but with direction, and the forest watches you pass. The path climbs, not steep, not sudden, but steady, like the land itself is gently lifting you towards something unseen. Roots twist beneath your boots, stone pushes through the earth in quiet angles, The trees grow thinner, the light stronger, breath deepens. Not from exhaustion, from change. You can feel it, the shift. Every step takes you higher, above the thicket, above the moss-dark hollows, into open air. The forest opens behind you. Below, green rolls in every direction, deep, ancient, endless. The sea is a faint shimmer on the far horizon, a memory. Ahead, the ridge stretches like the spine of a sleeping beast. Low grass, scattered rock, the first touch of wind that does not carry trees with it. The sky widens. Birds glide far above, wings outstretched in silence. Clouds drift slowly, painted with light. Everything feels farther and closer. Your men do not speak, but they pause, not from fatigue, from awe. A stillness forms, not silence but fullness, the kind of quiet that holds meaning without needing a sound. Now imagine, you are standing there, cloak brushing your calves, breath slow, chest steady. You are no longer enclosed, no longer watched by leaves. You are above, and the world is below. This is the ridge, the high place between decisions, between where you were and what comes next. And the land, it does not welcome, it simply allows. The wind sharpens, not fierce but alive. It brushes your cheeks, tugs at cloaks, whispers across the ridge. Then a shadow moves, quick, graceful, silent. All heads turn skyward. A raven, wings wide, feathers black against the silver-blue sky. It circles once, slow and low, not soaring, not fleeing, just watching. One of your men mutters something, a name maybe, or a word meant only for the gods. Another touches the hammer at his neck. The bird cries once, not loud, not mournful, but clear. It banks to the left, flies east, toward the distant hills, where the land folds into itself like a secret not yet told. And then it's gone. No feathers fall, no omen declared, but the meaning settles, like dew, personal, unshared, real. You do not follow the raven, but you remember it, the shape it cut across the morning light, the way it turned just once before vanishing. Now imagine your hand resting on the pommel of your blade, your eyes tracking the empty sky. You feel nothing divine, only direction. In the old stories, ravens were messengers, to Odin, to fate, to war, but here, it was just a bird, and still, something changed. This is the sign, not proof, but presence. The sky opened, and something moved through it, and you saw. The ridge does not stretch forever. Soon it bends, curves downward like a bowstring, drawing you toward shadow once more. The path narrows, grass gives way to stone, loose gravel slides beneath your feet, each step measured, tested. Below a hollow opens, deep and dark, cradled by walls of moss-covered rock, a place untouched by sun for days or years. No bird sings here, no breeze moves the trees, only gravity, and the sense of something old. The descent is slow, boots careful on wet roots. One man steadies another. A pack shifts with a dull thud. Even breath grows quieter, as if not to disturb what sleeps below. The air changes, cooler, thicker, heavy with damp stone and something else. Something like memory. A broken stair appears, carved into the hillside, worn smooth by water and time. It leads between two boulders split by age and moss. You pause, look back once. The ridge behind you, the sky above, still open, still watching. Then forward, into the cleft, into the hollow. Now imagine your hand brushing rock as you descend, each step echoing in a silence that listens. You are not in danger, but you are being noticed. This is not a place for war, not a place for noise. This is the path beneath the stone, a passage between what is seen and what is felt, and something waits, not far, not loud, just there. The hollow deepens. Walls of rock rise on either side, not cliffs, not caves, something between, curved inward, like the hands of the earth cupping a secret. Steps grow slower, boots splash in shallow water pooled in cracks, drips fall from moss with perfect rhythm. One, then another, then silence again. There is no wind, no birds, no scent of pine or smoke, only stone. Yet somehow, the air carries presence, not noise, but shape, as if voices had once filled this place, and their outlines still remain. You walk between them, feel them, like cold breath against your neck, not threatening, just watching. Your men are quiet. One glances upward, not at the sky, but at the overhang above, where roots hang like fingers frozen mid-reach. Someone clears his throat. The sound bounces back, twice, then fades, and the hollow returns to stillness. A single bird feather lies on a stone. No bird, just the feather, damp, alone, undisturbed. No one touches it. You press forward, step after step, until the space begins to open again, just slightly, enough for the air to feel less dense, enough to breathe a little deeper. Now imagine, your footsteps surrounded by echoes that don't belong to you, your heartbeat slowing as the rock closes in, then gently releases. You haven't heard a voice, but something has spoken. This is the echoing hollow, where sound is not needed for meaning, and memory is etched in silence. The hollow gives way to something strange. The walls curve apart, just enough to let light filter in, cold and grey like dawn inside a cavern. And then, the threshold. Two standing stones, tall and close together, weathered smooth by wind, streaked by rain, still holding straight, not natural. placed. Between them the earth dips slightly, as if many feet once walked this way, long ago. No symbols, no chains, no door, just two stones, and what lies beyond. Your men stop behind you. No command, no fear, but a shared pause, instinctive. The space between the stones is not wide, you could step through in a heartbeat, and yet, you don't. Not yet, because something changes here. The sound of your breath, the weight of the air, the feel of the ground beneath your boots. This is not just another part of the forest. It is an edge, the kind you cross once, and remember forever. A few steps more, and you stand before it. The threshold, the gate. No guards, no warning. Just two silent witnesses to everything that's come before, and everything about to begin. Now imagine, your hand brushing the side of the stone. Rough, cold. You don't understand it. You don't need to, because it understands you. This is the stone threshold, not a barrier, but a mark, that you are no longer where you were, and ahead, something waits. You step through. The stones do not resist. There is no sound, but the world changes. The light shifts, not brighter but softer, as if filtered through something ancient, as if the air itself remembers. And ahead, the hidden valley, cradled by hills, wrapped in mist, carpeted in wild grasses that sway though there's no wind. Small trees grow in odd shapes, bent, twisted gently like they leaned towards something long gone. Scattered among them, stones rise from the ground, not built, not fallen, simply there. No movement, no fire, no voices, yet it feels lived in, watched, held. A stream cuts through the center, clear, slow, reflecting sky and memory in equal measure. Its banks are worn but not eroded, used, visited. You walk without speaking. Your men follow, quieter than ever. Even the birds do not sing here. Even the wind forgets to blow. One man stops beside a stone. He looks at you, points. A small circle etched into the rock. Faint, but unmistakable. You do not recognize the mark, but your bones do. You continue. The earth is softer beneath your feet. The valley feels closer with every step, not in space but in time. Now imagine, you walk through grass that bends away from your boots but does not break. Your shadow long behind you. Your thoughts not ahead but within. This is not a place found on maps, not a place meant to be discovered. It is a place that allows itself to be seen only when it chooses. This is the hidden valley, a secret the land kept, until now. The further you walk, the stranger the land becomes. The valley stretches out not in distance but in feeling. It doesn't widen, it deepens, like walking into the memory of the world. Then someone stops. He kneels, brushes his hand across the grass, says nothing. You come closer. At first you don't see it, then you do. A circle, pressed into the grass. Wide, perfect, low, not burned, not cut, just laid down, flattened with a softness that suggests something large and still. Then you see another, and another. Some overlap, some stand alone. None have footprints leading in or out. The grass inside them leans in one direction, always east, as though turned by breath, not touch. One man whispers something, not words, just sound. He stands again, backs away. Your eyes scan the field, 7 circles in all, each different in size, but all the same in shape, and silence. You walk the perimeter of one, count your steps, 13, exactly. You place your foot inside, nothing happens, but the wind sighs, the first sound in minutes. You don't know who made them, or what, but you know they weren't meant to vanish. They were meant to wait. Now imagine the grass brushing your boots, the soft bend of a hidden spiral beneath your feet, the sense that this valley has been visited before, not recently, but truly. This is the sign, not of danger, not of invitation, but of presence. Something was here, long enough to leave shape in the earth, and careful enough to say nothing. One circle draws you in, larger, centered, deeper pressed. The grass inside is smooth, flattened not by weight but by time, the way stone shapes water, the way waiting shapes silence. You step in, one foot, then the other. No one follows, but all of them watch. The air changes, only slightly, not colder, just stiller, like the moment before snowfall, like the breath held before a name is spoken. You stand in the center, turn slowly, no sound. The other circles surround you, like moons around a star, or centuries around a throne, not perfect, but placed. You close your eyes, and for a moment, you feel it. Not a vision, not a voice, just presence, like the memory of a crowd, like the echo of footsteps long faded, like the air knows you are not the first, and welcomes you anyway. You open your eyes again. The sky is the same, the trees don't move, but something beneath your boots remembers. Now imagine, you turn slowly within that circle, the whole valley curved around you like a closed eye. You speak nothing, you raise no weapon, you simply stand, where someone once did. This is the center, the mark of pause, of purpose, and you know, without knowing why, you were meant to find this place. You don't plan to kneel, but you do. The circle seems to ask it, not demand, request, like a whisper in the spine. Your fingers brush the ground, soft, damp. The grass leans easily, no resistance. Then something different. not stone, not root, a ridge, buried, smooth. You dig gently, only with hands, no blade, no force, just beneath the soil, a surface, flat, hard, carved. The markings are faint, not words, not runes, but shapes, spirals, lines, a pattern too careful to be accident. One of your men approaches slowly, says nothing, but kneels beside you, touches the same stone. You both look up, then around. The other circles, the placement, the valley. It's not a camp, it's not a site, it's a cover for what lies beneath. You scrape more earth away, the shape widens, the edges curve outward, a lid, a seal. Now imagine your hand still resting on the carved surface, the warmth of the day barely touching this buried thing. You don't know what's below, but you know it's meant to be below. And you've found it, not by map, not by luck, by listening. This is the moment before discovery, when the earth breathes out and waits for you to decide. The stone is nearly clear now, a full circle. Edges smoothed by hands you'll never meet. Symbols etched not to decorate but to seal. It rests flat like a door, but colder, still, too still. You trace one of the carvings with your finger, a spiral, deep and clean. The center almost burns to touch, not with heat but with presence. One of your men steps closer. He crouches. His hand hovers over the edge. You speak, just one word, low, firm. He stops, not because of your voice, but because he feels it too. This stone is not meant to be moved, not broken, not opened, just left. Not out of fear, not out of superstition, but because sometimes something ancient remains closed for a reason. The earth below is quiet, too quiet. The wind does not return, the birds do not sing, the valley holds its breath. You stand, brush the soil gently back across the surface, a gesture not of burial but of respect, and the stone watches you go, even if it has no eyes. Now imagine you walk away slowly, your hands still cold, your men silent behind you. None of them ask what it was, none of them suggest returning, because this was not about finding treasure. This was about being seen by something older than memory, and being allowed to leave. This is the unearthed stone, what should not be touched, and what now knows you were here. No one speaks as you leave. Not because there is nothing to say, but because the land itself has asked for silence. You walk back across the grass. The circle's still there, untouched, unspoken. The wind returns, gently. The kind that trails your shoulders, not your face, as if urging you on. You glance once more behind. The valley is unchanged, but it is not the same. The stream still flows, the trees still lean, but the place is closed, not physically, but spiritually. The stones watch you leave. The carved seal rests beneath its blanket of earth once more, and the shadows no longer hold questions, only memory. The threshold stones reappear ahead. You pass between them with slow steps, boots pressing deeper into the soil now, heavier. The light changes again, brighter, sharper. The birds begin to sing once more, faint, but real. Your men follow without question, their eyes ahead, their minds elsewhere. None of you speak of what was found. None of you name it, because some things are not meant for naming, only for knowing. Now imagine, the last of the valley behind you, the forest unfolding ahead. You carry no relic, no proof, only a stillness within, and that is enough. This is leaving, not escape, not return, just the gentle closing of a place that never asked to be found. And you walk away changed. The trees greet you again, same trunks, same moss, same shifting green above. But it feels different now. You know this path. You crossed it earlier, watched the light filter through these very leaves, heard the same creak of roots underfoot, but now everything is quieter, not in sound, in meaning. The birds sing, but softer, the breeze returns, but slower. The air touches your skin, but colder. It's not the forest that has changed, it's you. Each step feels more weighted, not heavier, more intentional. Your boots land on old ground, but your mind walks elsewhere. One of your men picks up a fallen branch, not for firewood, just to carry. He doesn't say why. Another stops to press his palm to a tree, same as before, but now he lingers. You pass the same twisted birch, the same slope, the same stream, but now you notice more. A crack in the bark, a bird's feather tucked between roots, a stone with a single scratch across its face. Was it there before? Maybe, maybe not. Now imagine the forest parting before you, leaf by leaf, shadow by shadow, not to lead, not to warn, just to allow. You are no longer a stranger here, but you are not home either. This is the forest returned, unchanged in shape, but transformed in truth, and you walk through it as one who has seen what lies beneath the world. The clearing finds you again. Not the one in the valley. The one you left before it all began, where fire once burned, where a stranger once sat, but now there is no stranger, only stone and ash. Your men begin to move without needing words. One gathers kindling, another arranges stones. A spark is struck. The fire returns. Not bright, not roaring, but alive. You sit first, then one by one they follow. A circle forms, familiar, not rehearsed, remembered. Boots press into dirt, still marked from the last camp. Smoke curls into the trees again. Shadows dance across quiet faces. No one speaks of the valley. No one speaks of the stone. But each man watches the flames as if it holds something the sky cannot. A pot is placed over the fire. Water boils slowly. Bread is shared in halves, not wholes. No one eats quickly. The fire cracks once, a loud pop that startles no one. Then silence returns. A man leans forward, says a word you don't understand. But the meaning is clear. We're still here. Now imagine you staring into the fire, its glow reflected in your eyes, its warmth on your hands, its smoke carrying all that went unspoken. Upward, you have returned. Not the same, not broken, but with something inside you now, a knowing. This is the circle, not just of bodies but of story, closed for now, but never finished. The fire dims. Its last flickers stretch long over cloaks and stones, like tired fingers reaching for one more moment. No one speaks now, not because there's nothing to say, but because saying it might make it less real. The stars bloom above, slowly, softly, as if the sky remembers your story and wants to hold it. The circle begins to loosen. Bodies lean back. Some lie flat. Others curl near packs, near logs, near each other. One man snores softly, the kind of sleep earned only through silence. Another mutters something, a dream already forming on his tongue. And you stay awake a little longer. The night feels different, not colder, not darker, just deeper. You close your eyes. The fire's glow pulses behind your lids, orange, then red, then gone. But in your mind, grass still bends, stone still waits, and water still runs through the valley beneath your thoughts. You are not dreaming of home, not of war, not of gods. You are dreaming of what you touched, and what touched you. A presence, a silence, a door you didn't open but found. Now imagine, your body wrapped in furs, your hand resting near the soil, your breath sinking with the dark. Above, stars turn, below the earth hums. You sleep, and in that sleep something holds you, not to keep you, but to remember you. This is the dream after the journey, not fantasy, not vision. Just rest, beneath stars that have always watched, and always will. Morning comes without ceremony. No horns, no calls, just light, slow and silver, unfolding through the branches like a quiet visitor. The fire is cold now. Only ash and stone remain. A few blackened logs lie curled like sleeping bones. Your men rise one by one. Some stretch, others blink into the pale sky. No one rushes. There is no urgency, only stillness. The forest is the same. The ridge still stands. The trees still watch, but something has changed. Not in the world, in you. You feel it in your chest, that settled weight. Not heavy, not burdensome, just real. A truth with no name. You gather your things. The camp leaves no trace. Only footprints in soft earth. Only the faint circle where fire once lived. Someone hums. Not a song, not a chant. Just sound. And for the first time, no one minds. The path ahead is simple. The sea waits beyond the hills. The ship still rocks gently in its mooring. But the journey does not feel over, only paused. Now imagine the sun slipping through the canopy, warming your shoulders, your breath easy, your steps quiet. You walk not away from the valley, but with it, inside you now, folded like a secret beneath your ribs. This is morning, the same, always, but now, different. The world remains, and so do you. The trees part slowly, and there it is, the shore, just as you left it. The curve of stone, the wet sand, dark and cold, the longship waiting, silent, steady. Waves lap at the hull with the same rhythm as before. The sea, unchanged, still vast, still open, but you are not the same. You walk toward the water, each step more grounded, not heavier, but more real. Your boots leave prints on the sand, just like before, but now they feel like marks, not passing, like you were meant to return and leave again. The ship rocks gently as you approach. It does not greet you. It does not resist. It knows. One by one your men begin to board. No commands, no orders, just the quiet rhythm of practiced movement. You place your hand on the hull, wood, damp and worn, familiar, alive. For a brief moment you close your eyes. The valley flashes behind them, stone beneath earth, circles in the grass, the silence that changed everything. Then the wind lifts, salt on your tongue, sky wide above, water stretching forward like a question. Now imagine your feet on the deck, the world slowly rocking beneath you, the oars still at rest, the sail tied, waiting. This is the return, not to end something, but to carry it forward. The waves know who you are now, and they do not ask why, they only ask where next. The longship drifts backward, then forward. The tide moves without command, as if it too had been waiting. You grip the oar, feel the old rhythm return, not mechanical but remembered, like a heartbeat rising after rest. One stroke, then another, the sound of wood cutting through water. The wind begins to build. It slides down from the hills, past the trees, over the deck. It smells of pine and of ash. The sail is lifted, not in triumph, in continuation. No voices call out, no horns sound, only the creak of rope, the snap of cloth, the breath of a crew that has passed through silence and come out quieter. The shore shrinks, the trees blur, the place that held you disappears behind mist and distance, but it does not leave you. The sea opens again, wide, endless, patient, but it does not seem empty now. It holds memory, and something more. You glance at the sky, no ravens this time, just cloud, just light. Now imagine the ship beneath you, alive and moving, the oar in your hand, the wind against your face. You are not sailing away, you are sailing with everything you've seen, everything you've felt, everything that remains beneath the grass, beneath the stone, beneath your ribs. This is departure again, not escape, not return, but the next turn of the circle, and the sea welcomes you back. The land is gone. No ridge, no valley, no stone, only water. In every direction, a flat, endless mirror shifting gently beneath you. The longship glides forward, oars stowed, sail full, the wind steady like breath. There is no map for this, no landmark, only trust, in the sky, in the hull, in the path that isn't drawn but felt. Your men rest. Some gaze out across the sea, eyes half closed. Others check rope, secure packs. No one asks where you're going. They don't need to. Not now. You stand near the bow. The wind brushes your cloak. The salt touches your skin, and you realize you are not alone, not because of those beside you, but because something came with you. Something from the valley, not heavy, not loud, just present, a part of you now. You close your eyes for a moment, feel the rise and fall of the ship, hear the creak of wood, the flap of sail, the soft rush of waves against the hull. There are no questions, no fears, only the sea and the sky, and the knowing that some journeys do not end. They continue. Now imagine, no destination, no final point, only motion. This is open water, where the world has no edges, and you for once do not need them. Time stretches thin. The sun sits high but not hot. The waves move but barely. The wind hums a single unbroken note. It is quiet, not empty, not still, but full, with a peace that doesn't ask questions. Your crew settles into the rhythm. Some sleep, others carve quietly, bone, wood, thought. A man braids rope without looking at it. Another stares at the water, not searching, just seeing. No one speaks. Even laughter when it comes is soft, like ripples instead of splashes. The sky above is wide and pale, cloudless, infinite. You sit at the edge of the deck, cloak wrapped at your back, legs heavy, heart still. You think of the circles, the valley, the stone you left undisturbed, but the thought doesn't weigh you down. It floats, like driftwood, always near but never sinking. You drink water, break bread, eat slowly. There is no urgency. Even the birds far high glide in long, lazy arcs. No flapping, just being. Now imagine the creak of the ship, the scent of salt and tar, the sun warming your shoulders just enough, your thoughts stretching farther than the sea. You are not waiting, not preparing, just existing. This is the quiet day, not a gift, not a warning, just a pause, between winds, between moments, between the world you left and the one you haven't seen yet. The shift begins slowly. A shadow across the deck. A pause in the wind. The kind of stillness that doesn't soothe. It warns. You look up, clouds. Not thick, not fast, just forming. Grey at first, then darker. Edges like torn cloth, curling and rising, as if something beneath the sky is breathing. The sea begins to change too. Waves stretch longer, their crests slower, lower, but deeper. The wood of the ship creaks differently now. The ropes sway, though no gust pulls them. The sail flutters, not frantic, just unsettled. Your men feel it, though no one speaks. They glance at the sky, then at each other, then back to their tasks. Blades are checked. Water skins secured. One man ties a red thread around his wrist. A habit, not a superstition. You stand at the prow. Watch the sky lean in. Watch the horizon blur. The line where water once met air, now hidden in shadow. No rain yet, no thunder. But the shape of the storm is there. Not like a beast, not like a god, like a decision. Still approaching, but already made. Now imagine, your hands gripping the rail, the sky darkening with every breath. The ship steady, but waiting. You are not afraid. You are aware. This is not panic. This is knowing that something is coming, and the sea has already accepted it. It begins, almost gently. A single drop, sharp, cold, falling onto wood with a sound too soft to startle. Then another, and another. No rush, no downpour, just rhythm, slow, spaced, deliberate. The men look up, no surprise in their eyes, only recognition. They've seen this before, but every time feels different. You lift your hand, feel the next drop strike your palm. It lingers for a moment, then trails down your wrist, like ink, like a thread. The sail tightens with the growing weight, the ropes darken, the deck shimmers, but still, no wind, no thunder, only the quiet sound of water meeting surface, again and again, as the sky begins to open. Your cloak grows heavy, your boots damp, no one moves faster, no one hides, they simply brace inwardly, because they know this is not the storm, this is the moment before it. The sea is calm but watching, the clouds thick but silent, the world narrows, not in fear, but in focus. Now imagine the sound of soft rain all around you, a steady whisper across the sails, the ship breathing beneath your feet. You stand in it, not beneath it. This is the first drop, not a warning, a welcome. The sky has spoken, and you are listening. The silence breaks not with sound, but with motion. A shift in the sail, a tremble in the ropes, a groan from the mast, low, deep, like a warning sigh from the bones of the ship. The wind has arrived, not sudden, not wild, but rising. It curls along the edge of your cloak, grips your hood, presses into your chest like a hand that remembers you. The sea responds, waves grow leaner, longer, their rhythm no longer gentle, but purposeful. The rain quickens, still not heavy, but angled now, driven. Your men begin to move. Nothing frantic, nothing loud, sails adjusted, ropes checked, axes secured. Not for war, for balance. You don't speak, you nod, they know what to do. You grip the side of the ship as it leans, just slightly into the wind. There is no fear yet, just attention, the kind that comes from long memory, from sea-seasoned instinct. You look ahead, the sky churns, grey folding into black, light swallowed by deeper shadow. You can feel it in your ribs now, the hum of pressure building, not above, within. Now imagine, your hands cold, wet, certain, the wind no longer asking permission. It moves through you. This is the rising wind, the moment between the question and the answer. The world no longer waiting, the storm is on its way. It comes without warning but not without permission. The ship lifts, not forward, up. A wall of water, black, green, foaming, rises before you like a beast half woken. The bow groans, the crew braces, then impact. Not a crash, a heave. The longship climbs, wood creaking, sails pulling. Your knees bend, your boots shift. For a second you see sky, no clouds, just light through mist. Then, drop, the hull slams down into the trough. Water sprays over the rails, cold as ice, heavy as stone. One man stumbles, but catches himself. Another laughs, not from joy but from knowing. It has begun. More waves follow, not yet a storm, but no longer peace. Each crest higher, each trough deeper. The wind calls through the rigging, not howling but singing. A song of power, of distance, of claim. And the ship, she answers. She does not fight, she rides. This is her world. She knows these moods. And you hold on. Now imagine, salt stinging your eyes, breath short from the drop, arms tight around rope worn smooth by years of sea. You are awake now, not just in body, in spirit. This is the first wave, the sea no longer passive, no longer kind. It is not angry, it is true, and you are still aboard. The storm thickens. Not just in sky or wave, but in sound. It begins low, a whisper, beneath the creak of wood, beneath the lash of rain. Then it rises, not words but presence. You hear something. Not from the men, not from the ship, from the sea. A voice? No. Many. Not shouting, not screaming, calling. You don't understand the language, because there is none. But you feel it all the same, like names said without sound, like memories spoken by water. You grip the mast, the wind claws now, not wildly, but with purpose. The sea rises again, and with it the voices swirl, soft, endless, curved like the tide, repeating like breath. One man turns his head sharply, as if someone called him, but no one did. Another mutters a prayer, not for safety, for forgiveness. You stare into the rain. The sea answers with a wave, harder this time. The deck tilts, but you hold fast. The voices continue, not angry, not cruel, just there, watching, speaking, remembering. You realize, they're not calling you, they're naming what came before, what passed through these waters, who sank, who survived, who never returned. Now imagine the rain pouring across your face, the wind tugging at your thoughts, and the sound of the sea, not just crashing, but reciting. This is the heart of the storm, where the sea stops being water and becomes memory, and memory never forgets a name. The storm peaks. Rain no longer falls, it strikes. The sea no longer sways, it climbs. Each wave slams the ship like a memory too long buried, trying to rise, to return, to be felt. But you hold. Hands gripped tight on rope, feet locked beneath the rail, back braced against the wind. You are not alone. Each man, bent, soaked, silent, becomes part of the ship. Not crew, not cargo, structure. One steers, another tightens sail, another watches the mast sway like a tower of bone and breath. No one speaks. There is no time, no space between one crash and the next. Only choice, to stand, to stay. A barrel rolls. It is caught mid-slide, pulled back, lashed down. No command, only instinct. Another man slips, but he's caught by a hand. Then two. He nods once. That is enough. Lightning flares. For a moment, the whole sea is white, the clouds like mountains, the ship like a sliver of shadow on a god's breath. Then darkness again, but the line holds. Now imagine, your hands blistered, your arms burning, your heart steady, not fast, steady, because in this moment there is no room for fear, only action, only presence. This is not defiance, not bravery, this is endurance. You do not beat the storm, you withstand it, and the sea respects that. And then, silence. Not complete, but so sudden, it roars louder than the storm. The wind halts, the rain stops, the sea calms, not flat, but respectful. You open your eyes, the sky above is clear, a circle of pale light, blue within grey. The storm surrounds you, walls of cloud rising in every direction, towering, turning, but not touching. You are in the eye, the centre, the breath between the crash and the next. The ship floats, rocking softly, dripping. Your men are still, no one cheers, no one moves. They all feel it. This isn't peace, this isn't end, this is the inhale before the second blow. One man sits, another wipes water from his eyes. Someone murmurs a name, not a call, just a memory. You look down at your hands, rope marks your palms, salt stings your skin, but your grip hasn't loosened. Above, the sky turns slowly, not menacing, majestic, like a great eye opening, just enough to see you. You are inside something ancient, not enemy, not ally, just power. Now imagine, standing on wet boards, the sea pulsing beneath your boots, your breath loud in your ears, and knowing deeply that this is the pause, not the end. This is the eye of the storm, a gift of stillness, a warning of what comes next, and it's watching as you prepare to continue. You feel it first. A low shift in pressure, a pull at the sail, a tremor through the hull. Not shaking, warning. Then comes the sound, far off, like a drum underwater. Like thunder, not yet born. Your men rise, one by one, not rushed, ready. You turn toward the edge of the eye, and there, it rises. The second wall, taller, darker, slower. This storm does not crash down upon you. It returns, with memory, with rhythm. It curves in, wind curling around the mast, rain slanting like arrows that haven't yet flown. Your cloak whips forward, the ropes snap against their knots, and the first wave of the second storm slaps the bow like a challenge. The ship shudders, but does not falter. You shout once, a name, a command, a breath. The crew moves again, together, like they've done this before, in another life, another sea. The sails tighten, the ship leans, you dig your heels in, feel the fight beneath the boards. This is not about reaching land, this is about staying afloat within. Now imagine the wall of wind curling toward you, your blood calm, your arms steady, your thoughts clear. The storm does not hate you, it tests you, and you answer. This is the second wall, where the storm doesn't ask if you'll survive, it asks how. There is no more counting now, no time, no stars, just motion. Wave after wave, crash after crash, each one a question. Each one asking, still here, and each time your ship answers. You don't remember when the shouting stopped. Maybe it never began. Maybe it was all wind. Your throat is raw, your arms ache, your cloak is long gone, torn or given, but you hold. One man rose with his eyes closed, not asleep but inward. Another hums a sound older than speech, a rhythm, a thread. The mast sways like a wounded tower. The sail groans but holds. Your feet slip, then catch, then slip again. You think of the valley, the circles, the stone. You think of the fire, the lullaby, the stars above the fjord. You think of the stillness, and pull that memory around you like a second skin. The storm doesn't end. Not yet. It surrounds. Rain lashes sideways. Lightning blinds. Thunder presses your chest inward like a second heartbeat. But nothing breaks. Not fully. Now imagine, your body bruised, your hands numb, your voice gone, but your will still burning. You are not conquering the storm. You are walking through it, wave by wave, name by name, breath by breath. This is the longest hour. No clock, no prayer, only you and the sea, still answering. Something gives. Not loudly, not all at once, just enough. A crack in the mast, a rope that slips, a man who falters and does not rise again, not from death but from everything else. The storm doesn't celebrate, it does not punish, it simply continues. You brace against the next wave, it hits harder, colder, the deck lurches, too far. For a breathless moment, the sea is above you. You are beneath the world, weightless, rootless. Then it passes, but something's changed. Your crew is smaller now, one pair of hands gone. Another man limps, arm tight against his side. Blood maybe, no time to check. The ship still floats, but closer to the waterline, like it's listening now, not speaking. Your own hands slip. You grip harder, feel splinters. Don't let go. This is the point, not where the sea wins, but where it asks, do you still want this? You don't answer aloud. You lean into the wind, tighten the line, lift the oar. The sea watches. Another wave rises, taller than the last. It falls like a hammer. You shout, not in fear, in defiance, and the ship doesn't break. It groans, it shakes, it holds. Now imagine, your voice raw, your chest burning, your soul somewhere between fire and frost. You should have fallen, but you didn't, because this is the breaking point, not where things end, but where the choice becomes clear, sink or survive. It doesn't stop. It fades. First the wind. It softens from howl to whisper, from force to breath. Then the rain. Less driven, less cruel, until it's nothing but mist on skin. The clouds begin to thin. Not clear, not yet, but lighter. You feel it in your shoulders first. A release. The tension slipping. Like something uncoiled inside your chest. You look around. The men are still standing. Not straight, but upright. Someone is coughing. Someone is laughing. One man sits down and doesn't get up. Not out of pain, just done. The ship creaks with relief. Wood swells but doesn't split. Rope frays but doesn't snap. You step toward the bow. Water still laps high on the hull, but it no longer claws. It rests. Ahead, the clouds crack slightly, and there, behind them, light, not warm, not golden, just present. It spreads like ink in milk, soft, slow, and it brings nothing. No promise, no voice, only sight. You see again, not far, but far enough. Now imagine your breath slowing, your hands loosening, your eyes adjusting to a world that isn't fighting you anymore. The storm is not gone, but it is leaving, and in its wake you remain. This is the fading storm, not a triumph, not a song, just the first quiet step, after fury. The sky lightens, the sea settles, and breath returns. No one says it aloud, but everyone is counting. Eyes scan the deck, looking not for names but for motion. A nod, a blink, a rise of chest. That is enough. You walk slowly, each step heavy, not from fear, from weight, of what was held, of what was nearly lost. You pause by a man curled against a crate. You kneel. He opens one eye, grins. You move on. Another grips the side of the ship, eyes closed, mouthing something to the sea, a prayer, or a curse, or simply thanks for still being able to speak. One place on deck is empty, a coil of rope, loose, a cup tipped on its side. No one fills that space, not yet. Your crew gathers without needing to, not in formation, in presence. They lean, sit, slump, some speak, some don't, but every pair of eyes holds the same truth. We are still here. No songs, no toasts, just survival. You take a deep breath, let it out slowly. Salt, wood, life. Now imagine, standing at the center of the deck, surrounded not by noise, but by endurance. No one asks what comes next, because this moment is enough. This is after the rain, where grief has no name, and survival has no shape. Only faces, only breath, only you. Still counted, still living. The storm has passed. The sea sighs. And now you work. Not because you want to, because you must. A rope frayed to threads. You splice it, slowly, carefully. Each knot a promise. We go on. The mast leans slightly. Two men wedge their shoulders beneath it, while a third drives in the brace. One strike, two. No speech, only rhythm. Someone patches the sail with fabric torn from his own cloak. It doesn't match, but it holds. A cracked oar is wrapped in sinew, smoothed with resin, clamped between palms until set. The ship, once your weapon, now becomes your patient. You feel it beneath your feet, not groaning, not weeping, just accepting. It survived too, not untouched, but undone and remade. One man sharpens a blade, not for war, but for work. Another gathers scraps, wood, cloth, even broken glass, and stores them in a bag, because out here, everything can serve again. You take a breath, look across the deck. It's no longer the same ship, and that's all right. Now imagine, your hands moving with purpose, the wind soft again, the sun warm on your back. Not a reward, a renewal. This is not triumph. This is reconstruction. This is how sailors heal, with splinters, with knots, with silence. This is repairing the ship, not just wood and rope, but spirit. The repairs are done, the tools put away, the deck swept clean as it can be after such a storm. Now, you choose. You stand at the prow. The sea stretches endlessly, blue, wide, alive, no landmarks, no stars yet, just direction. One man looks to the west, another to the north. Someone asks nothing, only watches the wind. You close your eyes. The ship creaks gently beneath you. The water laps the hull. The breeze moves your hair like fingers flipping through memory. And in that quiet you feel it, a pull. Not magnetic, not logical, just right. You point, not boldly, but clearly. No questions are asked, no compass consulted. The sail is adjusted. The ship turns. Slow, wide, certain. The men nod. One mutters something like a blessing, though no gods are named. This is not about returning, not about destiny. This is about choosing to move forward. The horizon doesn't promise anything, but it doesn't lie. It waits. Now imagine your feet steady, your hands light, your heart no longer clenched. You are not chasing something, you are inviting it. This is setting a new course, not where the map leads, but where your soul leans. And sometimes, that's enough. Night falls gently. No storm, no clouds, only stars. They come slowly, first one, then another, then many. They don't shine, they watch. The sea mirrors them, not perfectly, just enough. Your ship drifts steady, the sail slack, the oars at rest. There is no wind, there is no need. The men sleep, some curled like children, others sitting, heads bowed, breathing deep and slow. You sit too, back against the mast, eyes upward. The sky is vast, but not empty. It feels as if it has been waiting. You trace shapes between stars, not constellations, memories. There the curve of the valley, there the spiral from the stone, there the path the ship took through fury and stillness. A falling star crosses silently. You don't make a wish. You don't need to. Everything you could have asked for, you've already endured. Now imagine the creak of rope, the hush of water, the pulse of the sea beneath you, slow and sure. You are not lost. You are not searching. You are simply moving. And above you the stars open like eyes, and stay open. This is the sky returned, not in glory, in recognition. It sees you, it remembers you, and it will watch, as you sail on. You lie back. No pillow. Just wood. Still damp. Still warm from sun and memory. Your eyes close slowly. Not because of exhaustion, because of permission. The ship drifts. No wind, no wave, just the steady breath of deep sea cradling. You hear it all, the flap of loose sail, the groan of the mast shifting, the water tapping at the hull like fingers on old stone. The world does not demand anything from you now. Even your thoughts drift. One, then another, like birds circling far above. The valley returns, not as fear, as echo, a circle of stone, a song by fire. A face you never saw again. None of it hurts. Not now. Your hands rest on your chest. Your boots still on, but your guard, long gone. One man hums in his sleep. Another shifts, murmurs, breathes deeper. No one wakes. No one needs to. And you float. Not in sea. In time. This is not rest. It is recovery. This is not the end of the journey. It is the pause the journey grants, when it knows you have earned it. Now imagine the stars wheeling slowly above, the ship barely moving, your body weightless in memory and wood. You are not sailing now. You are sleeping. And the sea holds you, as if it always meant to. The darkness begins to thin. Not quickly, not loudly, just enough that your closed eyes feel it before they see it. A soft glow, pale gold brushing the horizon, as if the sea itself is lighting a candle, one wave at a time. You stir, not startled, not rushed, your limbs heavy, but warm. You open your eyes, the stars are gone, the sky is not yet blue, just lighter than before. The men begin to move, quiet stretches, a cough, a whisper, no commands, only acknowledgement that something has ended, and something else has begun. You rise slowly, step to the rail, look out, the water glimmers, not sparkling, breathing. The wind returns in its gentlest form, the sail stirs, eager but not urgent, and on the edge of everything, light climbs higher. You don't smile, but your chest loosens, your shoulders lift. There is land, somewhere. You don't see it yet, but you believe it now. Not because you need to, because you're ready. Now imagine, the light touching your face, the wood warm beneath your hand, your crew silent beside you, each one watching the world wake in their own way. This is first light on the waves, not a sign, a gift. The day has returned, and so have you. At first it's just a shadow, a darker smudge against the soft gold of morning. You blink once, twice, then it sharpens, lifts, takes shape. Not cliffs, not trees, just shore, land. Someone sees it and says nothing. They only straighten their back. Another adjusts a strap, checks a blade. You don't speak, but you step forward. You know this feeling. Not excitement, not relief, recognition, like you've seen this place in a dream, or remembered it from a story someone else once lived. The sea remains calm, as if it too has been waiting to show you this, not as a gift, as a step. The sail billows softly. The ship leans, ever so slightly, toward the line that now grows clearer with each breath. You see rocks, low hills, a stand of trees like a curtain across the beach. It could be anything. It could be everything. Now imagine the taste of morning on the air, the creak of a ship ready to end its drifting, and the soft, steady approach toward land you never planned for, but now claim. This is not the end. This is the edge of something else, something next. This is the shore on the horizon, and it is real. The sail comes down, not with ceremony, with choice. The wind is done. Its work is finished. Now, it's you. Oars are lifted, set into place. Hands grip wood worn smooth by 1,000 tides. You glance to your right, to your left, each man waiting, not for command, for rhythm. You nod once, and the ship moves. The creak of timber, the dip and rise of blades. Water breaks quietly, no splash, just split. The shore grows. What was shadow becomes sand. What was line becomes land. The sea, behind you, releases. No pull, no protest, just silence. A man grunts. Another breathes deeply through his nose, as if tasting the coming soil. The ship glides now, not fast but sure. Every pull of the oar is heavy, but not painful. It is a weight earned, a motion full of memory. The hull begins to scrape, shallow now. You feel it, the shift. Water becomes sand, float becomes drag. The last few strokes are hardest, because they're the end. And endings, even quiet ones, demand strength. Now imagine, your arms burning, your eyes locked on the shore, the sound of wood kissing earth for the first time. You have arrived, not because the sea is gone, but because you pulled yourself home. This is the last pull, oars biting into the earth, and with that your journey stands still. For now, the ship stops. It doesn't rock anymore. It rests. And so do you. You rise, swing your legs over the side, step down. Your boots sink slightly, not in mud, but in welcome. The sand is damp, cold, grainy beneath your soles. It presses back, not like water, not like wind, like land. You take another step, then another. The weight of everything hits at once, not pain, but presence. You are heavier now, not from burden, from being real again. Others follow. One stumbles, one kisses the ground, another kneels and just breathes. No one speaks. They don't need to. This sand knows your name, not because you told it, because you brought it with you. The sea does not vanish behind you. It lingers, always. But now the land stretches ahead, unmarked, unwritten. You feel your spine straighten, your breath deepen, your heart slow. This is not the start of something. This is the confirmation that you made it. Now imagine your feet firm on the shore, your shadow long in the morning light, and every part of you saying quietly, I am still here. This is feet in the sand, and it carries more weight than any storm. You turn. Slowly. Your boots twist slightly in the sand. Wet grains clinging like memory. Behind you the sea. Still vast. Still breathing. Still watching. Not menacing. Not beckoning. Just present. The ship rests in shallow water. Its hull kissed by foam. Its sail limp. Its oars folded like wings after flight. Waves roll in. Then out. They don't chase you, but they don't forget. You meet the horizon once more. Not as a challenger. Not as a survivor. As someone who knows. You know how far it stretches. How deep it falls. How quickly it can change. And still, you are grateful. Because it brought you here. Because it didn't take you. You raise a hand. Not in farewell. Not in salute. In acknowledgement. One breath. One nod. The sea ripples gently. And that's enough. Others turn too. Some cross themselves. Some touch the water one last time. No one speaks. Because this moment isn't about words. It's about what remains. Now imagine the wind gentle behind you. The land stretching ahead. And the sea eternal, still holding your reflection in its waves. You don't belong to it anymore. But a part of you always will. This is looking back. And knowing the sea still watches. You walk away from the ship. Away from the sound of waves. Each step carries a shift. From soft to firm. From sand to earth. The air changes too. Less salt, more green. And then you see it. A tree. Just one. Not tall, not proud. But alive. Its trunk gnarled, bark silvered with wind and time. Its roots half buried in loam and rock. Its leaves trembling with the lightest breeze. You pause. Not because it's strange, but because it feels true. The tree is not here to greet you. It is not a symbol. It simply is. And somehow, that's enough. One man reaches out, touches its bark. Another leans against it, forehead resting on wood. Someone else sits beneath its shade and closes their eyes. No stories are told, no meanings assigned. This is life. After salt. Not sweeter, not louder, just different. Your fingers trail along a branch. It bends slightly, not away, but around. You inhale. Earth. Moss. The faint scent of bark warmed by light. And for the first time in what feels like ages, you feel roots beneath you, not yours, but welcoming nonetheless. Now imagine standing beneath leaves instead of sky, your boots dusty with soil, the sea behind you silent, and ahead, possibility. This is the first tree, and it is still growing, just like you. The wood is dry. The flint steady in your hand. You strike once, twice, a spark, a curl of smoke, then flame. It catches quickly, twigs, bark, dried grass from beneath the tree. They give way to fire like they've been waiting for it. The light grows, flickers, then steadies. Around it, men gather. No weapons, no armor, no guard, just hands outstretched, faces soft, shoulders lowered. One man stirs the embers, another adds a branch, someone hums. No tune, just sound. You sit close. The warmth is not just in skin, it touches deeper, like memory, like return. There is no fear in this fire, no tension, no threat. It will not burn a village, it will not signal an invasion. It will only burn, to cook, to comfort, to remind. You watch the flames dance, not wildly, but with purpose. They crack softly, telling a story only you can hear. You lean back, close your eyes, feel the warmth slide up your arms, into your chest, and you know you are no longer surviving, you are living. Now imagine the firelight playing on tired faces, the smell of smoke mingling with leaf and earth, and the sound of breathing, not labored, but restful. This is fire without fear, and it means only one thing: your home. Wherever this place is, you've made it warm. The fire is lower now. Not out. Not struggling. Just quiet. The embers glow like distant stars, steady, fading, warm. You sit with your back against a log, others around you, half asleep, fully safe, and someone says, "Tell one more." Not loudly, not begging, just asking. So you do, but not a tale of battle, not of dragons or kings, just a memory, a river, a cold morning, a piece of bread shared with someone long gone. You don't name them. You don't need to. The story is not in the words, it's in the voice. Low, even, anchored. The men listen, not with wide eyes, but with steady hearts. One hums softly, another leans against his pack and closes his eyes. The fire cracks, once, then settles again. You finish the tale with no great ending, no twist, just truth, a pause, then nothing. And that nothing is everything. Now imagine your breath slow, your voice spent, the fire warm against your toes, and the night still, silent, whole. You have told one more story, and it is enough. This is the night before the new day, and it holds you gently, as if to say, rest now. Night returns, but not like before. No storm, no cold wind, no fear, only stillness. Like a soft blanket laid over the world, you lie down beside the fire. Its glow now low, gentle, a soft orange flicker that hums instead of dances. The voices are gone, not silenced, resting. The stars are high again, but they don't shine loudly. They twinkle like old friends keeping watch from far away. Your eyes grow heavier, not from weight, but from warmth. The wooden frame of your shelter creaks softly, like a lullaby whispered by the wind. And outside, the sea breathes, not in waves now, but in deep, slow sighs, in and out, in and out. Your heartbeat slows to match it. Your breath follows, and with every breath your body sinks deeper, into the blanket, into the ground, into calm. Now imagine the softness of wool against your skin, the scent of smoke and pine, the faint sound of distant water, and above all peace. You have journeyed far, you have seen storm, fire, stars and land, and now you sleep, gently, completely, like the sea when the moon is high. This is where the journey rests. The fire has gone quiet. Just a whisper of warmth remains beneath the ash, beneath the pale morning light. You don't wake suddenly. Your body knows before your mind that the night has passed. Your eyes blink slowly, not in fear but in permission. The sky is soft blue, fading from deep violet. The stars are gone now, but their memory lingers on the surface of your dreams. A bird sings. Only one note, and then another. No drums, no horns, just light and breath, and the feeling that something has shifted. You sit up slowly, your blanket slips, the cool morning air brushes your skin but does not bite. You are rested, not restored fully, but enough. The land is still, the sea is far now, only the trees move, a lazy sway in the light breeze. You stretch, no words, just your body remembering itself. And in that stretch, in that first inhale of a new day, you feel it. Not urgency, not duty, just readiness. Now imagine, light falling gently across your lap, your breath rising in the chill air, and the sense that you have made it through. The cycle has turned, and you are still here. This is dawn again, soft, quiet, and full of small promises. The morning stretches out before you, quiet, open, undecided. There's no path in the dirt, no trail to follow, just dew on grass, mist over trees and the faint outline of hills in the distance. You rise, gather what little you carry. Your hands are light now, your shoulders easy. Others stir around you, not rushing, not planning, only joining the silence. The sea is behind you, its sound now only a murmur in memory. The fire has gone cold, but your chest holds its warmth. You begin to walk, not toward something, not away, just forward. The rhythm of your steps becomes a kind of music. Soft footfalls, breath on breeze, the gentle rustle of leaves above. No one leads, no one follows. You are simply together. And the road, it makes itself beneath your feet. Now imagine the coolness of morning on your face, the hush of a world not asking anything of you, and the quiet joy of movement without demand. This is not a quest, not an escape, just a way. The road beyond the sea does not promise, it welcomes, and you, softly, begin again. The sun is higher now, but the light is still gentle. Filtered through trees, falling like a hush across your path, you walk slowly, but your mind drifts to the ship, to the waves, to the night you spent beneath stars. It feels distant, and yet just behind your shoulder. Each breath feels deeper, each step lighter, like you're moving through something not fully awake. Maybe you're dreaming, or maybe the world itself has softened to match your stillness. Birdsong comes in waves. The wind stirs grass like the sea once stirred sails, and the air smells faintly of salt, though the sea is long behind you. It's not haunting you, it's walking with you, in silence, in memory, in you. Your eyes blink slowly, not tired, just heavy with calm. Your feet continue, but part of you is floating, somewhere between what was and what will be. Now imagine, your body warm in the light, your mind gently untying itself, and every breath blending dream with day. You are not gone. You are not fully here. You are in between, and that is enough. The dream continues, not to escape, to carry, because this journey never truly leaves you. It just settles, quietly, softly, inside. You sit beneath a tree. Its shade falls gently across your lap. Its leaves whisper softly like waves once did. There is no hurry, no next step, just the rhythm of your breath, and the earth beneath you. Your hands rest on your knees, loose, still, open. The journey has slowed, so have you, but not from exhaustion, from completion. The fire that once warmed you is long gone. The sea that once held you is quiet now, a soft memory lapping at the edge of thought. You look out at the world, not to search, not to plan, just to see. And in seeing, you find something rare, peace. Not the kind that comes after victory, not the kind that must be earned, the kind that simply arrives, like fog, like sleep. You lean back, feel the weight leave your shoulders, your breath deepens, slows. You are not thinking anymore, you are not remembering, you are just here. Now imagine, your heart beats steady, your chest rising with ease, the soft hum of a world that needs nothing from you. You are a sailor, no longer. You are a stone beside the river. You are wind moving through pine. You are stillness itself. This is final rest, and it is kind. The sea is far now, but it hasn't forgotten. It never does. Though you rest beneath trees, though the sky above you is calm and golden, the ocean remembers, not in words, not in names, but in motion. A wave curls gently on a distant shore, not because of wind, but because of memory. It remembers your ship, the creak of wood, the pull of oars, the breathless stillness before the storm. It remembers how you stood, how you listened, how you endured, and in the deep places, where light does not reach, your journey hums softly still, a vibration, a whisper, a line on water that never fades. Others will sail, others will drift, but you are woven into the sea itself, not as a legend, not as a story, as a presence. Now imagine, waves that carry no voice, but still carry you, currents that curve not in path, but in feeling. The sea remembers, and in that remembrance, you remain, forever drifting, forever resting, forever part of the tide. There is no movement now, only breath, soft, even, barely heard. Your eyes are closed, your hands are still, your chest rises like a tide and falls again. There is no story left to tell, only this moment, this gentle hush. The earth cradles you, the sky watches, and somewhere far away, the ocean holds your shape, not in water, not in wave, in memory. It holds the rhythm of your oars, the heat of your fire, the echo of your voice carried by wind, lost in mist. You don't need to remember, you don't need to try, you can simply let go. Let go of maps, of names, of the storm, let go of time. Now imagine, drifting in warmth, wrapped in soundless dark, held in the soft, slow current of something vast and kind. You are not gone, you are not forgotten, you are simply asleep, and the ocean, quiet now, keeps you, forever. This is the end, not of you, but of motion, so sleep now, and let the ocean hold you.